So I wanted to do this acknowledgement of what I think is going on, technically speaking, comparatively, like versus a bodybuilder. Me versus a bodybuilder. I have a random diet. It's more like an animal's diet would have, like a fucking wolf or something, you know? Random shit comes and goes in my belly, and that's how I eat. Sometimes, I don't fucking go without food too often anymore, but when I do, it's something I'm good at. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I am pretty cut up is because like I'm not fucking chasing any kind of just quantifiable size. And here's another caveat to me is I don't fucking ever take shit. I mean just some nutrients, but that's it. Think about it like this. The guys that you see that are, let's say there's some guy that's 69, he's fucking looking ripped, but let's just call it what it is. Like Kevin Levone, he was a bodybuilder. He used steroids. All that shit went through their system. So regardless of what they do now and how respectable they are now, you got to realize they were on that shit gear for a long time, and who knows what kind of gear. Who knows what kind of gear they were on back then in the 80s, 90s and shit. But anyway, so this is what makes me different. Like, a bodybuilder is going to eat continuously. Me, I'm going to have times where I don't have any motherfucking food. And that's always been the case. Even when I got money, I sometimes I don't feel like just floating on food all the time is a great idea for my body. So, could I really eat 4 meals a day? Yeah, I probably could. But if I did it like that, it'd be throw my body off a little bit. My body knows what it wants, and if I got like a feeling of bloat in my system, that to a guy that doesn't feel good. I don't care what anyone says. It doesn't feel good to run around with fucking shitloads of food. You're trying to burn it off with fucking cardio, and then you got to make sure you have enough proteins and carbs for your workout. But anyway, so my body has gotten used to the ebb and flows. Since they're so incrementally smaller compared to a bodybuilder, the issues that I may have trying to build muscle, it just makes my shape better over time. So like even if I was to start even into heavy weights, I would just blow up. But of course, I wouldn't be eating as much as a bodybuilder. I would say that I top off on average 3 meals a day at best, and they're not even the biggest meals most of the time. But then sometimes in a week I'll eat fucking 4 meals a day, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, kick it up a notch, get a little more muscle tissue in the fibers, in the water, in the fats, and everything I need to hold the muscle in place. But to chase size all the time is not chasing shape. You can be a bulk monster, but trying to catch up on cuts is going to be a lot of fucking work. I mean, you could look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, as big as he was, as much fame as he developed over his career. The guy was a bulk monster. I mean, he didn't really have that good of cuts. In my opinion, he had some areas in his arms, obviously, and stuff that looked great, but like his shoulders and shit, for all that size, it didn't look right. In my opinion, it didn't look right. The same goes for anyone that's chasing bulk. They have to do so much fucking cut work just to round out those fucking immense bulking things they're pulling off, and they're going to end up tripling and quadrupling their fucking cut work just to try to get the shape, and then they got to diet. On top of it, they're forced to diet at that point for what? A competition? No, that's not how the body works. The body takes in what it needs when it needs it. And in my opinion, and I'm not a physician, I'm not a nutritionalist, but I can definitely tell you that even when you go without food, as long as you stay busy, your body respects that shit. Somehow or another, it turns into almost metaphysical capabilities, and you start looking great, and it doesn't get worse, it gets better. It's not because you're eating more, it's because you're fucking dedicated, you're fucking disciplined. And, bodybuilders are disciplined. I'm not saying they're not disciplined. It's just that they are always chasing the size. They want size more than shape. but they know they're going to have to pull off the cut work to pull some of the cuts. Eventually, that's going to have to come down to that, and then dieting. So no matter how much you see somebody that's growing, like Sam Sulik, he's not going to be able to achieve some of the cuts, I don't think, that he would like, and anytime soon, either. I mean, to be quite honest, when he's talking about his winter shred-a-thon, let's just concisely understand what he's saying. He's saying he's going to cut up as best he can, isn't he? He's going to only do what he's able to do because, to do even more, it would mean more cut work, more gym work. And to be quite honest, with all the food he's eating, I would think that it would be much better and more beneficial if he stuck with cut work for a long fucking time and didn't do a lot of bulk work, because he's already got a good size and stuff. Now he just needs to shape that fucking muscle more. Now, it doesn't mean he doesn't got good shape, like, altogether. It's just that I'm saying he doesn't have cuts to go with his shape. If he takes his shirt off, anytime you see Sam Sulik, he's got size because he's progressing from steroids. And the cut work is something I can definitely say for most bodybuilders that are just not in a competition status, they're going to have lacking cuts. Now, not all of them are. Some of them have fantastic cuts, and they maintain a lot of cut work. They do more cut work than you would even want to, that they would even want to show you probably on video, just to keep the cuts looking sharp. So, because the bigger you are, the more shit you have to do with cut work as well. So I just look at it like that. So but if you're just hitting a lot of minute cut work, while you're bulking, you're only going to gain shape, and then you're going to lose a lot of aesthetic look. So what I do is I make sure that I stay lean, and when I do make incremental growth in certain parts of my muscle tissues, a lot of you aren't going to know it, but I will. I'll notice it. I'll go, yeah. If I eaten twice as much, I'd look bigger, but I'd still have to catch up on cut work. And when you're using testosterone only as it comes, it ebbs and flows. I don't just push into testosterone kind of workouts like that. I let my body receive and understand when it's a good time to work out. It's more of a military thing where you're not thinking about the biophysics of testosterone. You're just thinking of shaping, coordinating, and that's it. Like, if you were to start getting bigger, it would be a fluky thing. So, like, if I started to get bigger, it would be a little bit of a fluke. But I could cut up, if I had to bulk, with no issues. It would probably take, very little time for me to put on a little mass and keep it for a few days. But as a result of my eating habits, I cannot push myself into oversizing myself. So keeping myself modified in shape is the goal. When you're a calisthenics guy, you get all that it comes with. You just make sure you eat relatively okay, and you're going to look really shapy. But a lot of these calisthenic guys, they think that doing an upside down push-up without any assistance is just the shit, and it's really technically not the shit. To get an aesthetic look, you don't want to be doing a bunch of shit upside down. Since when do we go hunting as caveman, running around upside down and doing upside down? Yeah, I do upside down push-ups occasionally, but I do them for other reasons, to access a little bulk and to convert it back into bars. And then the whole muscle tissue gets, pretty much cross-hatched in a lot of directions. The short movement of an upside-down push-up exists when you don't have dips. Now, am I going to do upside-down push-ups with no assistance on dip bars anytime soon? Probably not. If I do something, it'll just be upside-down push-ups with my feet against the wall. Why? Because I'm concentrating on the muscle tissues, not fucking every damn fucking little fiber and tendon. That's not going to really do me any good as far as looking a certain way. So everything I do is programmed like a bodybuilder, but it's programmed not to be a fucking food hog, glutton. My system is programmed not to overeat If I was, I could gain a little weight. You know, but the point is this: the consistency of digesting all that food. It's not something your body can necessarily do. Most people ain't going to be able to digest the amount of food a bodybuilder eats. Even if they do a heavy workout, they're going to be shitting, 2 times in the motherfucking gym, 2 times at home, and 3 times in the morning. I mean, if you want to be a bodybuilder, just remember this. And any beautiful chick that's hanging all over a big old bodybuilder that takes shit and gear and all that stuff, you just got to remember this. Think about how many times that motherfucker has to shit. Just like a fat person, you have to shit all the fucking time. Now, does it mean it's fucking something you wouldn't want to do? Well, no. If you're one of those people that takes fucking steroids, you're gonna fucking not care if you shit a lot. As long as you look big walking into Carl's Jr. or Burger King to get your motherfucking Whopper, you're gonna fucking not give a shit about any of those little restroom trips. So just remember this: if you're just trying to keep the size and shape, or retain shape and access and accent shape, then you do what I do as an anatomy orientationalist. No plays here. I don't eat for bulk and size. I just make myself look the part, and the part is I look better than you. Fuck you. If you are a little bigger, you were probably a bodybuilder at one time taking steroids, which I do not.